seconds for people to sign into the stream. So then I'm going to mute. Hey, thanks for joining. I'm just sharing this in a couple of groups and we'll get started. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Logan Edmonds with Tabernacle Technology Solutions, based right here in Columbus, Ohio. So I get asked this a lot. We talk a lot about risk in my business, cyber risk in particular. And a lot of people, when they think risk, they think insurance. That's what insurance is for. Now, disclaimer, today we're going to be talking from a layman's perspective. I am not an insurance professional. I am not any way, shape, or form qualified to sell, buy, or do anything with insurance other than talk about my experience with it. So, with that being said, I came across a very interesting article recently that I think was, I don't know. Let's just say it stuck my interest. So, let me go ahead and figure out how to share my screen here. Maybe. There it is. Seriously. There we go. Let's take a look at this, shall we? So I'm referencing an article today coming up from travelers.com, and it's about a cyber insurance claim. Basically, what we're seeing here is hang on. Well, that's embarrassing. I actually just lost the article. Give me a second here, guys. Oh, well, this is embarrassing. I seem to have lost the article I was referencing, so I'll just talk in generics about it. So, what we're going to be talking about today is essentially cyber risk and also, how things have changed. As an industry, we have seen a revolution in the last few years when it comes to cyber risk and getting insurance for it. It's not, I don't have anything even to compare it to. I was talking to someone recently, and they basically said the closest thing we can think of when it comes to the sheer amount of risk, it is hurricane insurance. It's just outstanding and everywhere, and something's got to change because of the amount of risk we're talking about. Well, Logan, what do I mean? Well, let's start with some stats. Recently, we've been reviewing some stats from several sources, and we've seen stats as high as 1,000% increase in things like ransomware just from 2021. like 1,000% in 1 year of a risk factor. That's insane. So we're talking about cyber insurance now, and you're going out there, and I did this. I think a lot of people did this. You used to be able to buy, like, if you were a business between 1 to 3 million dollars a year, you could buy a policy for dirt cheap, depending on, as long as you weren't in a certain industry like me. I think I paid, if I remember correctly, somewhere around $1,500 my first year in business for $1 million policy on cyber insurance. That is not what I paid this year. And I'm going to decline telling you how much I paid this year, but I can tell you it's multiply that figure by several fold. It is different, so it's more expensive. We've also seen that the policies themselves are different. I mean, as part of an IT guy, being a small business IT guy, I get this all the time. I'm being asked all the time, "Hey, I got this new insurance renewal. Can you fill these questions out for me?" And it goes from being the single couple page applications of yes no questions to page upon page of technical questions and prowess in the cyber insurance application. So the question is, what changed? I think what changed in particular was the risk. What changed in particular was that people realized on the attacker side of things how darn easy it is to take money using cybercrime as a vehicle from other people. So you're talking about, no geographical borders that can really stop this. People from all around the world, and they're just coming in saying, "Wow, look at how much money I can make just doing hacking people's emails," for example. Case in point, I've been seeing story after story of someone got their email hacked, and I have actually have a couple case studies here that I'm going to decline, but I've experienced where someone got their email hacked, and all of a sudden, because of the information pulled from their email, how much stuff do we have in our email? Like, I'm saying this almost hypothetically, not hypothetically, introspectively. We have a lot of stuff in our emails, and a lot of stuff that's sensitive and important. And so if someone gets unlimited access to that, what can they do with that? Well, I've seen story after story where they get enough information to impersonate you to the bank. And I've heard of it and I've experienced it. So if that's happening en masse, how is insurance supposed to do that? How is insurance supposed to take anything? Well, they really have two options, in my humble opinion. That's all this video is. It's just my opinion today, which is they need to raise premiums, and we're seeing that across the board. I don't know a single person that's gotten their cyber insurance for the same price as they got it 2 years ago. Premiums have gone up. And then the other thing we're seeing a lot of, and this is true, is there's a lot more, I don't want to say loopholes because they're not loopholes. There's a lot more exceptions and policies. A great example of this. I just recently processed a $2 million cyber insurance application. Not processed. I helped fill it out and get everything, all the ducks in a row for the actual to go over to the agency to get approved. And I noticed something in the policy that was underwritten. It literally said, "Oh yeah, you have $2 million in coverage, but for anything that's taken from your bank account, what they call financial fraud, we're only going to cover 200,000 of that." But this is a $2 million policy. Why are you only going to cover 200,000 of it if it's a $2 million policy? The answer is it's happening at such a frequent basis, they have to cap their liability, stay profitable. It makes sense in an unfortunate sort of way. So what can we do as business owners? Well, that's a question I've been wrestling with for about a year now. And the only conclusion I can come to is we have to understand our risks. Every business is unique in this aspect. The cyber thing, I think, touches all businesses, but some businesses and some organizations just have way more risk than others. Understanding your individual level of risk, that's going to be crucial for you to make a good decision on how to manage it. And so part of what we've done recently in the last year or so is we've started offering and asking for cyber risk assessments, because it's not only a pragmatic thing, it's a very helpful thing. It can help you look at your risk and say, okay, these are the areas that I have way more risk than I'm comfortable with. For example, one of the main risk factors we evaluate often is whether or not an organization has multi-factor authentication turned on. If you don't have multi-factor turned on your bank account or on your email or on your important file databases, you really should, because multi-factor keeps the people out when they inevitably guess or steal your password, or helps, I should say. Nothing's 100% in my industry. So if you don't have any multi-factor on, knowing that as a risk, what are you going to do? Well, I hope you're going to turn on multi-factor authentication. So understanding your risk, properly evaluating it, and not just counting on, and I think I've seen way too many business owners do this. I have an insurance policy. I don't need to really carry about that. I have a general insurance, for me personally, in my company, I have a general liability insurance policy. I don't really want to test it. I don't want to put my people on rickety ladders. I don't want to do anything like that, right? Like it's there if I need it, but it's not something I really prefer to test. I really encourage small business owners not to take a similar stratagem with their to take a similar stratagem with their cyber insurance policies. We need to start treating them as a method of last resort. We want them. I have one. A lot of businesses have one, but we shouldn't rely on them as our only risk mitigation strategy. Um, every cyber incident I've ever done where it's actually been a hack, and I've done a few now, has cost businesses weeks of productivity and downtime and emotional stress. That's stuff that insurance just doesn't count for as you're processing the claim, not to mention the sheer amount of time it can take. So, understanding our risk, knowing what it looks like, and what tangible methods that we can take to reduce our risk is critical. And I use the example, financial advisors have been using this line for years, right? Like when you're young, you're more risk tolerant. You're in a good spot, so you invest in more riskier things. But as you get older and closer to retirement, you look and say, hey, my tolerance for risk is less and less. And you reduce your risk by investing in things that are considered safer bets, index funds, or whatever else that you want to invest in that's more consistent. Our business is very same. Every business has a unique risk tolerance. Finding what your risk tolerance is and then getting yourself to a point where you're comfortable within that risk tolerance is critical for the long-term health of any small business. Thank you for this. This stream did not go the way I hoped it would. I was expecting to have an article to share with you, but the permalink updated, and so you're going to listen to my thoughts. My name is Logan Edmonds. I am with Tabernacle Technology Solutions. I'm CEO and Chief Risk Advisor. And if you're interested in learning more about how to even start evaluating your cyber risk, I'm going to encourage you today to check out our website. That's https://tabernacle.tech, https://tabernacle.tech, or www. The link's also in the description. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day. Hope you like the lounge music.